Good morning, everybody. How are you this morning? Let me hear how you're doing.
Morning, David.
Good morning.
Morning class.
Woo! That's so awesome. All right, I'm gonna turn the mics off for the rest of the class for a while, just so we don't get any feedback bounce, because I have enough trouble with audio without having to deal with all of that. Anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome back, a whole bunch of new people, and a whole bunch of my old friends, and welcome to some new folks. I'm so glad to see some new people. Thank you all for being here. It's really a pleasure to be able to spend some time with you every morning. So thanks for coming. This is the Morning Flow Show, aka your AM Daily Dose of Chi, and I am your host, David-Dorian Ross, the Miles Davis of Tai Chi. And thanks to Jeffs for that particular title. Um, Boy, it's great to be back. I've been missing you guys. I've been missing you a lot. I did the show last night and I was saying how much I missed everybody. And I want to tell you guys how much I missed you. And I have so many people to thank for the experience of being on the road this morning. But I'm going to save that for the end of the show. I want to do acknowledge that, where I was this weekend. I was out in Asheville, North Carolina at Plank Fitness. And I just want to talk about them because they were so awesome and it's such a great place. So if you live in that area, because I have a huge contingent in Asheville, North Carolina who comes to class. Okay, well, maybe not. But if you're ever through Asheville, North Carolina, and you want someplace to go meet some fabulous people, go to Plank Fitness because they're really awesome there. But I'm going to save that for the end of the show today. We're going to go ahead and get up and do some of our Chi dancing. For those of you who are new, I do want to give you a couple of recommendations. First of all, if you go to the upper right-hand corner of your screen, whichever your right-hand corner turns out to be, you can choose the option of gallery view. And what you get out of that is you get to see everybody, this whole big, wonderful, wonderful group. Now, you may want to leave it on speaker view because then you'll probably be able to see me big and follow what I'm doing. But that leads me to my second recommendation, which is you don't really need to worry about doing what I'm doing because I don't care. Today, you do not have to learn anything. You don't have to get anything particularly right. You don't have to do anything in a particular way because I really believe that whatever you do is absolutely beautiful and wonderful, and it just kind of whatever flows out of you is fine. In fact, that's what I'm looking for. It's what I'm trying to draw out of you. So don't worry about doing it right. Don't worry about having to see every detail. Put it on gallery view and watch how wonderful the group is when we all get together. All right, so those are just a couple of recommendations. We'll talk more after our movement. Go ahead and get started. I'll be with you in just a second when I put on the music, and we'll start from there. Come on, let's go. All right, we'll just move that down a little bit. All right, from here, let yourself just float out into space, just drifting into the universe with the wings of a great bird, and then just float all the way down, nice and easy. Beautiful. Can you guys see me okay? Yes? Good, floating back up, very nice. And just spread your wings and soar into space and then just drift all the way back down. Beautiful. All right, sinking the chi. The hands float up, fold into the heart, and then just melt all the way down in front of the body. Beautiful. One more time. Breathe in, float in, and breathe out. Ah, very nice. Let's take this foot out to the side. And very nice and easy. Let that in front, the hands float up, opening the door. And then just drift all the way down, melting into the earth. Beautiful. Can you guys hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Yes? No? Okay, good. And float all the way down. Beautiful. Opening the door. The hands drift up again in front and round your arms out like you're hugging a big tree. Inhale and open. Let's get this hand on top of the big round ball. And one more time, just melt down into the earth. And open. Let the moon go, floating back up in the sky. This hand on top and sinking down. There we go. You can float back up. And bring the hands back together, hugging the big tree. Hands flatten, float all the way down. And let's start over. Go back to the beginning. Sinking the chi again. Hands float out to the outside. Drift into the heart. And just melt all the way down. Yeah, if you're new here, you haven't heard me before, I make a lot of noise. So just big sigh. All the way down, melting into the earth. Good. Floating back up. Hug the big tree. Inhale and open. The fingertips come back together, and then the hands flip. And this hand's just going to drop. Drop on down and toss to the side. Then fold that on, wave it in, and push right towards me. Push out. And then this hand drops down, tosses out to the side, waves on in. Well, hello there. And push. Good. And don't be shy. Take it all the way over as you toss out. And bring it back in and push. And again, you reach all the way out. Fold it back in. Push away. Beautiful. Breathe in as you toss out. Just give it away. Fold it in. How many directions can you share yourself? Well, let's see. I can go out there. I can bring a little bit back in and then go all the way out there. Very nice. One more time. Toss away. And let's take this hand with it all the way over and step in. Now, you know where I'm going with this. I just want you to melt on down. And then float back up. Whoop. These guys just hanging out for a second. Just melt on down. And float back up. Beautiful. Now this hand, pushing down, push down. And lift. And heavier. And lighter. Good. This hand only, just waving on in. Come here there. And float on out again. And one more time, waving in. And open. Nice. Okay, both hands together. Just moving into space and into the heavens. And one more time all the way down here. Very nice. And breathe in. You guys got it. And hold it right here. Let's take a step right in the corner. And this hand, push. Push. Good. Let's bring it on back. And everything goes to this side. And then just these guys hanging out here, just melt on down again. Melt and float up and melt down and float back up. Very nice. And then this hand pushing down, push down and float and ease into it. Get down and get up. This hand only, waving in and open and folding in and extending yourself into space. Now both hands together, pushing down. This is the big combo here. I've said this before, you don't want to be chewing gum at the same time you're doing this. You might hurt something. All right, bring it on down. Hold it right here. Let's take a step right in the corner. And this hand, push. Push, 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 push. Beautiful. And let's bring it on back. And one more time, over to this side. But everything together. Pushing, pulling, waving, melting, open. One more time, all the way down. Very nice. Take a step and push. Bring it on back. Let's take it over to this side. And all together. Pushing and pulling and waving and melting. And lifting up. And one more time. And then take a step in the corner. This hand pushing. And bring it on back, hugging the big tree. Very nice. Inhale and open. Fingertips come back together, hands flatten. And take a big breath out. As you go back to the beginning, sinking the chi. Hands float up, drift in, and ease all the way down. So nice. Inhale, floating up. And then just melting into the earth. Melt on down. So nice. Beautiful. Float back up, hug the big tree. Inhale and open. Fingertips come back together, hands flatten, drift all the way down. Now what I want you to do is take a little bit wider step out here, would you please, and just follow me. Just drifting, side to side. Right? We do a lot of this weekend in Asheville, because I can tell spring is coming across the country. It's cold and rainy here, but at least it's not snowy and icy. So I keep saying that this reminds me of the branches of a tree blowing in the wind, heavy laden with buds and flowers. It floats all the way across. Now let's make this a little circle. Circle around, and then float out again. The breeze is lifting, and then circle around, and floating out. Okay, the breeze comes up and lifts you. And the branches blow across the sky, right at the heart level. And then back down by the roots again. Take it all the way up. Very nice. And lift up and open across. And now big gust of wind up and over the top. Over and down. And one more time. Breathe in and over. And stay with me, because what we're going to do is change direction. Stepping out again, and here's a circle. Circle around, and floating up, and across the heart space, across the sky, and back down again. And lifting up, and across. Beautiful. Stay with me, up and across the sky, all the way to the heavens. And down, and one more time, lift and over, and down, and step together and cross the wrists right here. Beautiful. Let's take a step out and just open, and cross, and open, right? And bring it together. One more time. This is Repulsing the Monkey, version 2, right? And then step out and hug the big tree. Inhale and open, fingertips come back together, hands flatten, float all the way down. And we go back to the beginning, sinking the chi. Hands float up, drift into the heart, and ease on down. Good. Drifting up in front, opening the door, settle on down into the earth, melting. Very nice. Hands float up again. And as they float down, once again, I want you to take a little bit wider step, if you would, please. Right? Hands floating up, and then we'll pull into the heart, and then just dive right down into the earth, and lift all the way over to the sky. Bring it back down into the heart, and just melt into the earth. Now, some of you who are new, I always say, how low are you supposed to go? Remember, I don't care, right? Just float up. Wherever you go, looks good to me, folks. But if you let the breath do the work, it's a whole lot easier. So just go like this. It'll take you right where you need to go. Wonderful. The vertical circle, up to the heavens, into the heart, back down to the earth. All right, stay with me. We're going to reverse direction. Bring it up, out over the top, and back down. Very nice. Breathing in, reaching, breathing out. All right, stay with me. Bring it back up here and hug the big tree. Let's heel toe the feet together a couple of times. Inhale and open. Fingertips come back together. Hands flatten. Float all the way down. Sinking the chi. Hands drift up. Float in. Float down. Just like that. Beautiful. Hands float up here. Right? Float on down. Now stay with me. We're going to step into the corner and cross the wrists up high. The princess on the mountaintop. And drop. And open the heart. Beautiful. And cross. And breathe in. And breathe out. And one more time, breathe in. Open that heart, breathe out. Stay with me. We're going to bring it back to center so we can do the other side. drop down, step in, step into the corner, and cross up high. And breathe. Ah. Yeah, there you go. I can hear you even through the miles of your computer when you don't sigh. So let's hear a big one, right? Right now, just let it go. Ah, all the way out. Beautiful. And cross. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. And let's drop it and bring it back to center so we can go to the other side again. This time, crossing down low. And lift the princess in the valley. Here's the valley right down here, right? And open your heart to the heavens and cross. And one more time, breathe in and breathe out. Ah, good. Let's bring it on back in so we can do the other side. Step back on in. Into the corner we go, crossing down into the valley and lift. Ah. I don't know about you, but this feels extraordinary this morning. Beautiful. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. And last time, just open the heart and bring it back on in. Would you please just drop it down, step back on in, and sink the chi. And it's floating up and then drifting on down. All right. Opening the door. And just because we had this wonderful request this morning from Gary, let's open the heart, okay? Hands float on down. And then drift out to the side. Float in over the top. And drift down right to your belly. Floating back up to the heart. The hands circle out around the big Buddha belly and down. Drifting back up to the heart again. And then drop down. Back up and over the top again. And sink down into it. Oh, very nice. Floating back up to the heart. The hands make a diamond shape and push out. More. And then all the way down. And one more time, we go back up and over the top. We repeat the whole cycle. Breathing out. Breathing into the heart space. And then exhale out around the big Buddha belly. Good. Floating back up to the heart. Just moving that chi up and down. It's the length of the body. Making everything flow. Float all the way down. Here we go. Floating back up to the heart. Make a diamond shape and push. Push, and down. And one more time, sinking the chi. Floating in, ease on down. Nice. This foot is going to return. And on a Tuesday morning, on the road, a little bow. That's all I want from you guys. Oh, that was great. That was very nice. I hope you guys could see it. My cameras looked a little stuttery, but you guys looked good when I could see it. Let's come on back in for just a second. Okay. Well, that was interesting. I don't know how well your cameras all worked. There were times when on my cameras it looked like everybody was just kind of like, what's he doing? I don't see. But that is the adventure that is internet on the road. All right. Well, listen, there's a whole list of people that I wanted to give out some thanks to this morning. Some of them are here and some of them are not, but I really can't go through the rest of the week without saying something about my experience this weekend. I just had such a wonderful, wonderful time meeting some new people and spending some time with them. And I just really want to thank, all the people that made this last weekend possible. So number one is Kevin Martin, who is the owner and founder of Plank Fitness there in Asheville, North Carolina. He was so generous with his space and time and gave us the main room, then kicked out some of his other regular clients so we could do our Taiji Fit training there. So Kevin, wherever you are, thank you, buddy. That was really wonderful. Also, Elizabeth Lemon. Elizabeth is here this morning, and Elizabeth has been like this fierce advocate of having the program come down to Asheville ever since she came up to do the training in Baltimore last year. And it's just been months and months of let's make it happen. I'm not going to give up. Let's bring more people in. She brought a whole bunch of her friends to the training, and so Elizabeth, thank you also. It was worth every bit of it. And my really gracious hosts, people who put me up and put up with me, Matt Jeffs, who I don't think is here this morning, and Glenda LaChance and her family. What a beautiful, beautiful group of people. Glenda and I knew each other eons ago. I'm not going to say how long because that would be telling, and I don't really admit that I am that old. But we worked together in Portland, Oregon a long time ago, and now I get a chance to reconnect with some friends, and so she, her husband, and her lovely, lovely children. I got a chance to hang out a little bit this weekend, so thank you to all of you for that. So I wanted to talk for just a second. I know it's Tuesday morning, and I want to let you go really quickly here, but I just want to talk for just a second about the whole Miles Davis connection. This weekend, Matt Jeffs made this really interesting comment. He said for him, classical Tai Chi, classical traditional Tai Chi is like classical music with a really venerable structure and a composition that people follow forever. It's the same kind of, maybe some interpretation and some arrangement, but pretty much the same, the same structure. And it's beautiful, and people love it, and people recognize it, and people, attach themselves to this wonderful piece of composition. But he said, Tai Chi Fit, our sort of modern program, our modern interpretation, is like jazz. It's spontaneous, it's intuitive, it changes all the time. It has some sense of humor, if you will. And I thought, what a really good way of expressing that. That's really true. I feel like Tai Chi Fit is like jazz, and I like jazz, But I also really love classical music. And I think that the reason why I originally wanted to develop Tai Chi Fit was because I wanted to tease out some of that yummy stuff that is inside classical Tai Chi. For me, I always felt that there was that heartbeat of spontaneity. There was a heartbeat of jazz inside the classical that I wanted to tease out and then just put on the spotlight. You don't have to give up one for the other. You can like both, right? But the thing is that the lessons of Tai Chi are lessons for life. And life is rarely set in a certain composition. No matter how we might want to write it down and plan for life, life will surprise us. And so it's good to be able to be spontaneous and intuitive and to have a sense of humor with it. We get best at what we practice most, right? We get worst at what we practice least. So it's really great to practice just kind of going with the flow. And that's the jazz of our morning class. Anyway, that's my brief thoughts for this morning. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing. I have a couple of quick announcements I want to make. First of all, today, Tuesday, there's all kinds of groovy things going on. CJ's got her hour-long Tai Chi Fit class at 10 a.m. West Coast time. Good Lord, I don't even know what time that is. That's like 1 p.m. my time. Is that right? So she's got that class going on if you have a chance to go hang out with her. And then again this evening at 9 p.m. East Coast time or 6 p.m. West Coast time. So she's got an even class if you want to take that. You know what next Wednesday is? Next Wednesday will be our 100th Morning Flow show. Can you believe that? We've done 100 episodes. Yes, I'm going to turn the mics on just for that one. Let me say that again. Next Wednesday is our 100th show. I know. I can't believe it. So I haven't figured out what we're going to do yet, but we got to do something special for that. Invite your friends. Just bring your buddies, for next Wednesday show because it's going to be. We're going to have some. I'll wear a hat. Steve and I will wear hats. How about that? Beautiful. And I'm also just kind of on a personal note. I'm starting something brand new today. We had a conversation a couple of weeks ago about. What is your dreams? What are your dreams? We had the whole Bring a Dream week, remember? And in the wake of that, my Deanna, introduced me to a website called Give It 100. Give It 100. And it's a website that was founded by a woman who did a YouTube video about learning to dance. And it got 3 million hits and just hundreds and hundreds of emails and contacts. You may have seen this. You can go online and find it. And she videotaped herself, every single day through this process of learning how to dance. And the website is that she was inspired to create after this experience and after all the people contacted her is called giveit100 I recommend it. And it says, the thing is that this isn't a story about dancing. It's about having a dream and not knowing how to get there, but starting anyway. Right? And then the website allows people to upload a video of themselves going through the process of trying to, of following any kind of goal, anything, small things. So I thought, I'm going to do that too. Now there's something that I have really wanted to do with my Tai Chi since the very first class I ever took. Since my very first Tai Chi class, 35 plus years ago. In the first school that I ever attended, the tradition was to learn how to stand up, bend over from the hips, and put your chin on your toe. My teacher could do it. My teacher was 85. His 8-year-old son could do it, and so could his wife, who was 35, which is a whole story unto itself. And I started doing it, and then I kind of gave it up. I had some injuries at some point in my career, and I sort of put it aside. And so when I heard about the Give It 100, I thought, I'm going to do this. So starting today, right after we finish the show today, I'm going to start working on putting my chin to my toe. I'm going to be videoing every day, and I'll tell you where it's going to be uploaded, either onto the David-Dorian site or probably onto the Give It 100 site, so other people can see to it. And you can follow along with me as I work and see what happens in 100 days. Anyway, that's all the thoughts I had this morning. I gotta let you go. We're out of time. So go out, go forth, have a wonderful day. So good to see you again. As you go, don't forget, keep your hearts open. Take time to play with something. And no matter what life throws at you, just, think of the jazz, man. Just be jazzy today. Go with the flow and all work out. I love you guys. See you tonight.